Hi there. We are at kit number 3. So this is Assemblage Journal Collection kit number 3, part 1, tutorial, not tutorial. Because you guys know how much I love doing tutorials. And it just started raining and thundering and lightning. So hopefully I get this in the first take. Because I don't edit my videos. I don't know how and I don't want to know how. I don't need anything else to consume my time. Okay, so hopefully today I am going to get through, in the shortest amount of time possible, the beginning of making your cover. So, cover. Off we go. So what you're going to need, you get 2 pieces of the embossed 8.5 by 11 in your kit. And these, I always forget to say this, these kits are available in the Etsy shop. I think there are 4 left, maybe, at the time of this video. So, link is in the description box below, or you can just go to www.junkjournalshop.com, and it will take you right to my Etsy shop. Or you can send me an email. Email's down below, and I can send you a PayPal invoice. Either way, whatever works for you. The dog is alone in the living room, which can't be good. Hopefully she behaves. So anyway, off we go. What are you going to need? You got your 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. You've got your 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 embossed paper. You're gonna, vintage photo is what I prefer for this, but if you don't have it, you know, some kind of brown ink, I use this flat felt guy to get the best coverage. You're gonna need a bone folder, a corner chomper. If you don't have a corner chomper, you can use anything, you know, little and round like this. And I'll show you after. You just put it down on the corner, draw a half circle, and cut it out. I have a 2-inch circle punch that I use for the pockets. Again, if you don't have something like this, you can use your Fabri-Tac bottle, put it on the edge. Anyway. You got a piece of elastic and a piece of string in your kit. So whichever one of those you want to use for your closure. I'm going to have to find a book plate. We might have to do that in the next video. I don't see one right here. Anyway, off we go. So, your 12 by 12 piece of cardstock has come pre-scored at 5 inches. Alright, so what you need to decide firstly is which side of the cardstock, they're both grungy and yummy, you want to be, let me move this out of the way, the inside of your cover. Alright, so I made that decision based on where I scored that 5 inches. Because, if you see this journal, if I lay this down and hold it up to my scoreboard, the first 5-inch score line is the first mark right here. So from there, you can go score this way and decide how wide you want your spine to be. And we'll talk about that as I do it. So this is going to be your front. Either way you decide to use it, right? So here's what I did. I took this and I said I want this to be my inside, right? So that's going to be my inside. And here's my paper and my extra piece to get me the full 12 inches. Alright, I'm actually going to do this upside down, sorry. But I marked it top and I marked it front. So I know this is the top front, which would be this right here. So on the inside, it would be top and front. Because I want, I'll show you. So if this is the top front, see like this, I want that coffee ring to show. Even though I'm going to put the skinny pocket here, I want that coffee ring to show right here. Right? Right. Perfect. Then, with your other piece, cut a 1-inch strip, cue the thunder, and that's going to go down right here. Now, you can glue first and then ink, or ink first and then glue. I think I am going to, glue. All right, so don't make any more score marks. You don't want to do any more scoring until it's glued and dry. Okay, trust me. Trust me on this. And if you decide to use, like, if you've got a piece of Timmy paper that you like better, or, you know, what have you, feel free to use that. All right, so off we go. So I'm just looking again. This is going to be my front. What do I want? Now I'm looking at this to decide, because there are some spots where, for some reason, the embossing machine didn't get as heavy, like right here. I mean, it's still nicely embossed, but not as heavy as it is over here. So I'm going to put that in the back. So this is top front. Then, you can use for this, you can use Mod Podge, you can use PVA. If you have just school glue, just take some and add a little bit of water to it. Thin it out just a little bit. But whatever medium you glue this to this with is the same medium that you will put over the whole thing after we've inked it up. Good? All right. I have many brushes that I use for Mod Podge. If you only have a small brush, say like this, don't do it all in one fell swoop, because you're never going to get all the glue down and get this on it before it dries. So if you're going to use a brush like this, I think go in your glue, do about 2 inches, you know, like that. Put this down, give it a good rub, and then lift up. You know, this is glued down, lift up, and do another 2 inches, and so on. So you get, because you want it even, you want a thin, even coat so that you don't get any bubbles. And then I'm going to show you guys how I do it to keep them mostly flat. But I'm going to use this brush. It gives me the best control. And I think it's 3 inches. Is it 3? Yeah, this is a 3-inch. And then the big Mod Podge is a 4-inch. Just have a little bit more control with this one. So, off we go. And like I said, thin, even coat. And I just have wax paper down there. I know how fast I can go. Oh, and I should have said, go ahead and mark your paper so you know how far down to go. But as usual, I got ahead of myself. What else is new? Now, over here on my left, that 1-inch spot is going to get some extra glue. And I'm just going to lift that up out of the way. Lift it up out of the way. And I'm going to spin it around so that I can line these edges up. Now I know the very edge of these is not embossed. You have about I'd say 1/4 of an inch where there's no embossing. If you don't like that, when we get to that point, I will show you how to, we'll just trim it off. Your journal will just be a little bit smaller. Try not, if you haven't inked this up yet, try not to get any glue on this, otherwise the ink won't take. Alright, I'm going to grab my tissue again, and, oh, well, I haven't been looking at the camera. Hopefully I've been doing this mostly on camera. I'm just going to put a little bit more glue down. Just getting like a teeny tiny little edge of that. Might even wipe some of it off. And this, don't worry, it's going to be okay because we're going to put a stitch over it. And if you don't have a sewing machine or you don't sew on here, after you ink it, before you seal it with your glue, put a piece of vintage tape or a piece of washi or something right there, because it's going to be right here. Either it'll be the fold or right in the front of the fold, just depending on, where you score it. Like that. All right, now I'm going to slice this piece off. I don't have room on my table for the paper tray. You just have to trust me. Hopefully you guys can't see me down here on the floor. Alright, now I had to holler at that darn dog. I hear her getting into something. Okay, so right now it's wet. So, oops, insert heat gun noise. I'm going to mute it. I'm going to give it a little dry. Maybe. Alright, you see there how it's curling? Hopefully you can hear me. If you come back, flip it to the other side and hit it again, it'll lessen the curl. But what I would do at this point now is take a piece of wax paper, lay over it, and put a couple of heavy books to cover the whole thing, and just leave it be for half hour, 45 minutes. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna dry it a little bit more. Stand by. And again, if you don't have a heat gun, it's not a big deal. Just, excuse me, go put it under some books, let it dry, come back half hour, 45 minutes, and you'll be good to go. All right, now this part, I'm going to begin to show you how to do this, but for sake of trying to save some time, I have many prototypes over here, so we're going to kind of skip around a little bit. All right, brand new vintage photo. And you're going to use quite a bit of ink, so if your ink pad's been around for a while, you might want to re-ink it or bite the bullet and buy a new one. They're only $6 on Amazon. And I know this makes my table shake, and I apologize. Just start at one end. And this is why I suggest getting the two pieces of paper glued together first. Because if you try to do this with just a single sheet, it may curl on you, or you might catch the edge and bend it. So you just keep on going, and you can put as little or as much. The walnut stain works really nice too. It's a little bit darker. It's not as forgiving in these areas. You see there how it's nice and even. The walnut stain tends to be a little streaky, but you have plenty of extra on your second sheet. So if you want to just snip off, you know, a 1-inch piece and try a couple of different colors, you know, just go swish, swish like that. Because you can use any color ink if you want. I just prefer the vintage photo because it gives it the faux leather look. All right, so at this point, I would say, okay, look, we did the whole thing, right? Got my corner chomper. I'm gonna chomp all 4 corners. And if we decide that we need to shorten any of the edges or anything later, it's fine. We can cut them and then redo the corners. So at this point, let's see, we're going to use this one. Yeah. All right. So at this point, let's pretend that we've done all the inking. Okay. I haven't scored this yet, but we're gonna pretend with this one. Let me just show you. So we've got it all inked up. Don't need that. We don't need that right now. Hang on, I'm trying to make room where there is none. All right. So now, here's our piece that we started to ink, right? And this is actually the front on this one. Okay, so this is one of my prototypes. So what I learned was to put the 1-inch piece on the left-hand side so that it will come around. So it's not here, you know. I'm gonna have a stitch right here now. I'm fine with that. I don't mind it one bit. Actually, I have a different one I was gonna use. Maybe not. This one. I've got like 6 of them here. No. Anyway, okay. So you've inked it. It's dry. Now we're gonna score it. So you've got it this way, right? Like this. See, this is the one I just started on. This one's already got a score mark at 5 inches, which is right there, where that score mark is. So it's already scored right there at 5. Now, if you want to have a center line so that you can put a signature here and a signature here, then from 5, just go over 2 tick marks, which would be 5 1/4, and put another score mark, and then go to 5 1/2 and another score mark. So you're at 5, 5 1/4, 5 1/2, right? Then come all the way over this way and go to, let's see, let me make sure I like this before I tell you guys a story. Yeah, I like it for now. Wait, let me double check. All right, I'm gonna try something here. Don't quote me on this yet, but I think we're gonna go 10 3/4. So at 10 3/4, and then at 11. Let me hold that and test that. Throw some pieces in there real quick just to see. Ooh, I bet you guys heard that. Ba-boom. That was right outside my window. Oh, I'm already 20 minutes in. All right. So that's pretty good. I've got like 30 pieces of paper in there. You guys won't have that many. But that's pretty good. Okay. Move along, Johnny. Move along. And if you guys ever have any questions, please leave questions in the comment section, because somebody else might have the same question you have. Right? Now I'm going to ink up all the edges really good. And then I'm going to go to the sewing machine. And if you don't sew, or you don't have a sewing machine, then just, make sure your edges are glued down good. If you want to put some vintage tape around the edges or something, do that now before we seal the cover, which we can't do yet. Shoot. I keep forgetting this step. Okay. Now, grab your other piece. I've already chopped this one up. Grab your other full piece. Cut yourself one strip that is 8.5. It's already 8.5 by 2 inches. And cut yourself a little 3-inch tall by, I would cut it 5, and then then you can put it in there and decide if you want it any bigger or smaller. I made this one just a little bit smaller so it doesn't get hung up on anything. All right. And then I cut a couple pieces of cardstock. They're just maybe a skosh smaller, right? And then take the hole punch and just chomp them. Chomp one and then hold the other one over it and chomp. I can't get mine to go through 2 pieces at once. And then I did the same thing with this piece. Right, like that. So now I'm going to glue those down quickly. I was about to say, how do you guys do these short videos? Because you guys edit your videos. That's why. That's why. You guys are smart. All right. And I just wrap my brush in a baby wipe while I'm still going along using it. A Ziploc bag is probably a better idea. Alright, now I'm just going to go on this side. And the thing with Mod Podge is it's forgiving, so if I've got anything peeking out, which I do, I can move it around. I got a little piece of the cardstock peeking out right there, but it's okay. I can snip that off. And if I had my brayer, I'll just use a bone folder. Leave that be to dry for a minute. Get this piece. You know, either have not enough glue or way too much. Can't win. And yes, I just use a paper plate. I'm all kinds of fancy. And just remember, I can't say it enough, thin, even coating. And that way, that's what keeps you from having I'm gonna say shrinkage. Nope, not shrinkage. Keeps it from curling. Oh, see, I'm doing everything off the screen. There we go. All right. Voila. Right. Grab my brush up. Get that back out of the way for a minute. Now I'm gonna ink these guys up. Then these are going to go to the sewing machine first because there's a couple of edges that I want to stitch that I wouldn't be able to stitch once it's glued or stitched into the book. But again, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can use tape or glue or, you have those faux stitch stamps. You could use those. I'm just snipping off this little piece of cardstock. Peeking out. Get your edges. Oh, I'm glad it's raining. It was 102. And I'm going to apologize one more time for the shaky table. Now, normally at this point, we would go ahead and, well, we will. All over the place. That's all I'm good for. I don't do tutorials, you guys. Alright, back to the gluing board. And again, if you don't have a heat gun and a quick way to dry this, just go ahead and seal it and then thin, even coat. Seal it and set it aside and let it dry. If you have a heat gun, you can hit it with the heat gun and then put wax paper on it in a book, but you can't put wax paper on it when it's wet. I'm sorry if you guys can't hear me. Tell me in the comments if you can hear me when the heat gun's on. I won't say anything important this time. See there how it's curling up? Once I come back this way, flattens it right back out. And now I could put a book on it if I wanted to, but it's fine, I don't need to. This side. And insert noise here. Hopefully again, you can hear me. But do you see how the glue moves the ink color around a little bit? That's kind of neat. Trying to get these dry enough so that I can stitch them in. And I'm just going to use... Stop talking, Johnny. They probably can't hear you. Please hold. Working under pressure. Ooh, that's hot. Alright, so the back pocket, which is going to go back here, right? So we're going to sew around the whole outside edge of this, and we'll catch this bottom edge when we do that, but I can't get all of this. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine really quick. I'm going to go all the way around like that. Take me 3 seconds, maybe 4. Insert sewing machine noise here. Maybe. Sorry, my sewing machine's not up there. I have no room. No. We all work in a 4-inch by 4-inch space, right? 6-foot table. 1 square foot of space to work. These strings off, and then I will hold it up close and show you. Alright, so see, it's kind of hard to see. You can see that thing. So now, before I go to do this one, I'm going to take my fabric tack. So these 2 edges are going to be held down by glue. And yes, I always spread it with my finger. That way, A, it dries quick, and B, nothing seeps out and makes a mess. I'm going to tack those down. I know I set a couple of clips out here. Anybody see them? Anybody? I know they're here. I'm just gonna clip these bottom edges really quick. Now this one is curling a little bit. It's fine. Just go like that. Oh, I rounded the wrong corner. Don't be me. It's okay. We'll have all the corners rounded on this one. So it's going to go like that, right? So I'm going to get that side, and that side when I sew it on. So I'm just going to stitch right here. I still haven't really mastered sewing in the little half moon, but I'll do the best I can. Best I can. I'm going to snip that and snip that. So, you know how I was talking about the edges of the paper, like right here, not being embossed? That doesn't bother me because that's going to have a stitch on it on both sides, right? So, to me, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to put down a little bit of glue, even though I'm going to get all of this with a stitch just to hold it in place so it doesn't move while I'm sewing. Clip these for just a second. Very humid here. Before the rain started, it was 102 degrees. All right, now I'm going to go off camera again. Cover up your brush, honey. Clean your brush, cover up your brush. There we go. Save my favorite brush. Put the lid on the glue. Oh, we're over 30 minutes. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, now I'm going to take the clips off. I always start my stitch about an inch in the back so that your start and stop, you know, are back here. But now, like this one, I'll probably start it right here so it's on the corner of the pocket. So right here. So I'm just going to zigzag around the whole outer edge. And I forgot. Live and learn. Well, we'll address this in the next video. I should have put a zigzag. You know what? I can. Aha. Okay. Don't be me. We haven't put that pocket down yet. I have to run a stitch down that. This is why I don't do tutorials. Thankfully the glue had not dried. Oh, I hope I make you guys, if anything, if you don't learn anything here, which I'm sure you don't, but hopefully I can make you laugh. Okay. Should we try that again? Let's glue that down again. I'm not even blonde, you guys. Last night we're at the fireworks and a friend of mine was there. And everybody was joking around and she says, I might be blonde, but I'm not a cabbage. I thought that was hilarious. I'd never heard that. I've heard a lot of the blonde jokes, but I've never heard that one before. What did you say? She said, I might be blonde, but I'm not a cabbage. I thought that was hilarious. Okay. So back we are. And when we get to the point to when we're going to put the signatures in, if we feel like it's not closing right, that's one reason why I didn't take this pocket all the way to this edge. In case I want to score in some more or out here some more, I have some room to do that, just depending on page sizes. All right, now I'm going to quickly go zigzag around this whole thing. Anything? You guys can stare at some pretty pages. How about that? It'll take me just a moment or so. lot of sewing machine. It's a cheapie, so it's a little loud. Sorry. Halfway there. You can hear it when I get to the pockets because it's thicker. Almost there. There we go. Now we're stitched around. You see, it grabbed this pocket, so that's good. This pocket's good. And now, voila. So at this point, we are ready to seal the whole cover. Hopefully I can do this quickly, and then this will be the end of this video. Woo! Oh boy. And then we'll be moving on to the next. Alright, so I start in the middle and go out, and try not to let your cover move because there's going to be glue, all around the edges. So I'm just going to turn the piece of wax paper. And I waited to do this until after I stitched it so that my stitches would all be sealed. So I don't have to worry about the stitches coming out. It moved a little bit, but that's okay. Spin it. And then I just use my fingernails, hold it down in the middle. And just work it out to the edge. And again, thin even coat. Try and keep your brush strokes going in the same direction. And practice on something. Just get a piece of scrapbook paper if you've not done this before. And just practice. Find the brush you like. If you have an embossing machine, emboss a couple of little pieces. Alright. So I'm going to hit this with the heat gun real quick. And you can use a hairdryer. Again, don't know if you guys can hear me. If you don't have a heat gun, you can use a hairdryer. I'm just feeling for tackiness. I just want to get it dry enough so that I can put a piece of wax paper and a book on it. And that's good. Yay. My piece of wax paper. My big heavy book. This one usually does the trick. Or you can use two. There's one. Just grab these two. If you want to get the whole thing. There, voila. Just like that. Bam. That is the end of video number 1. Thank you guys. Please leave me comments. It will help me do better. Everybody have a wonderful day. And hopefully I'll have another video for you tomorrow. Bye guys.